Let's go!
Let's do this.
Greetings everyone, it is I am the one and only Joy here, and I am Jewel here, and I'm Blaze the Cat here, and I'm Coco Bandicoot here, and welcome you all for the likes of the next video for the TheMaxiToys videos. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to be celebrating the 14th anniversary of the TheMaxiToys channel. Yes, I can't even believe it's been 14 years ago, since 2011, and as a result, the major thing about the forms of anniversaries though, is that we can able to celebrate on special occasions. Like, remember how during the forms of it last year, that both Mighty, Ray, and Starlight Glimmer, and Trixie have pretty much played the only board game during the forms of our lives, and that's what appears to be for the fact that we've played Ludo. Well, today we figured about the fact that we're about to be going back on playing through Wii Sports, and as a result, if you couldn't tell already, the sports we're going to be playing through is obviously bowling, because obviously though, bowling is without a doubt is the most iconic sport in terms of Wii Sports history, and as a result, we can figure we can able to actually do that particular sport again, but this time, if you couldn't tell already, this is going to be the second time we're going to be experiencing Wii Sports bowling, because technically, back in 2014, thanks to Mickey Mouse and Pinkie Pie and Shy Guy, did somehow manage able to already done the video like that before. But I will admit it though right away, while looking back on it though, it's alright. I mean, the quality itself is average, but I will admit it though right away, the sound quality is not that great to me. Like, you can't really hear not only commentary all that well, and in addition to game audio as well. So, but either way, after 11 years later, since we're now in 2025 of course, this means about the fact that we can now hear not only our commentary, but also the quality looks substantially better. And in addition to that though, Joy, that obviously is about the fact that the game is now in widescreen. And finally, most importantly out of them all though, if you couldn't tell from the instructions right here, basically the version we're going to be playing through is the one that supports the Wii Jacket accessory, which previously though is about the fact that they've already experienced the first edition of Wii Sports when you do manage to able to get the game itself back in the day. So either way, without further ado, let's get this thing to it with Wii Sports Bowling, and as a result, we're going to be going through the normal game. So basically though, once again, much like the forms of how it does it on the video back in 2014, and Wii Sports Resort Bowling back in 2019, we have to once again try to able to share the Wii Remote to each other, because I don't feel like trying to fetch other 4 Wii Remotes for the time being, so we don't mind sharing, do we? Yeah, exactly. Especially concerning for the fact that, well, obviously though, if you couldn't tell already, is about the fact that today's date, of course, is the 16th of February today, in some cases in 2025 today, and we're still on the forms of the halfway point already in terms of February before we move on to the next month, which appears to be March. So, and generally speaking, that was about the fact that, what I can tell, about the fact that no matter what though, is about the fact that still, we haven't got that much left in terms of the forms of getting hyped about the forms of Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Direct either way. So, obviously though, if you couldn't tell already, yes, we did manage to able to create other set of Miis, ever since off screen, so just in case we can able to actually try to be more accurate with all these specific characters and all that stuff. So since I'm player 1, so since I'm Joy of course, but then I somehow got a spare, so now I can pass the Wii Remote over to Jewel now, because yes, like I said this earlier, that I've managed to able to did this off screen, to able to actually make several Miis for the specific point of view. So anyway, so you up for this, Jewel? Yeah, I'm able to be acceptance with this. So now, as far as I'm usually concerned with that stuff, though, is about the fact that For those of you probably wondering about the fact that how come that Blaze the Cat does not upload anything in terms of the forms of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games on the DS version, by the way, well, allow me to explain. Well, obviously though, for those of you probably wondering, I will be definitely going to be coming back into that game at some point until next week, especially concerning for the fact that winter is almost wrapping up soon, and so much so for the fact that when the time is right, obviously though, we can able to actually conclude that particular Let's Play before spring is about to be begun. So, either way, and as you can tell, that Jewel doesn't seem able to get the spare, so it's now my turn, so pass me the Wii remote, please. Of course, Blaze, because obviously though you're the coolest cat in the world. Yeah, exactly, especially since you are the princess from the other dimension. So, anyways though, so I was able to up for the chance, for able to try to get not only spare, but also potentially a strike as well. And suffice to say, so close, but that's okay, because I know for the fact that I've already seen Silver did manage able to play this on his spare own time for a bit. And speaking of which though, it's about the fact that we also did manage able to practice this game for quite a bit, if you couldn't tell, for the sake of the forms of the beginning portion of the actual the sports itself. Because obviously though, the more you try to play it, you're able to actually get some skill points. And then if you reach for about 1000, you're able to actually reach to Pro. So because of that though, I don't think it's possible for us to able to actually reach at this point. So much so for the fact that I'm not exactly sure if... oh man, Coco Bandicoot did somehow manage able to get the first strike already. Yay, that's how I roll. Anyway, on to you, Joy. Yeah, thank you, Coco. So, anyway, there are some interesting stuff I would like to point out, potentially speaking of, before we got hyped about the forms of, you know, the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Direct at some point on the 2nd of April. So, I will admit it though right away, is about the fact that we still have... oh, ho, 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 that's super top notch, when I somehow managed to get myself, a strike right there. Because I don't know about you girls, is that last time I experienced bowling like this was back in 2019 with Mickey Mouse, Pinkie Pie, and Shy Guy. And obviously though we somehow experienced the Wii Sports results version, and I will admit it though right away, it's so nice to be back on the original Wii Sports at this point, because truth be told, it is super ridiculously easy for me to able to actually get not only several strikes, but alongside with the forms of some occasional spears as well. Because, well, to be honest here, is about the fact that it is kind of tricky to able to actually obtain several strikes or occasional spears in Wii Sports results, but that's just mainly because of the learning curve about not only motion, but as well as on that though, spin control as well. But for the most part with Wii Sports though, it is very self-explanatory, especially concerning for the fact that it's pretty simple to able to try to dive into. And also, relatively speaking, I don't think it's possible for us to able to actually reach a maximum of 300. Because if you do manage to able to get not one strike, but 12 strikes in a row, that way it will easily guarantee us to able to actually reach, well, 300. So, meaning about the fact that the 300 points is the perfect score in terms of bowling history. So, either way, although we were originally trying to able to actually go into the, let's just say, power throws kind of training game, but maybe, just maybe, concerning for the fact that we can probably try to do a Let's Play of Wii Sports in the future. I mean, God knows. I mean, let us know in the comments down below for the question of the day. Do you guys want us to able to actually tackle for Wii Sports at some point? Because, well, despite the fact that there's not much content to be found, I mean, relatively speaking, it was about the fact that it's nice to be back on playing through the original Wii Sports after all, because, generally speaking, Wii Sports, the original, is pure classic, especially concerning for the fact that back in 2006, that it just somehow comes in with the actual Wii console as a bundle, except in Japan. So because of that though, because in Japan though, you have to buy the game separately, which I did somehow found this to feel a little bit more fascinating with that particular fact. So, and as well as that though, there are some other sequels of Wii Sports in general, like Wii Sports Resort, like we've already mentioned about this earlier, for the Wii that does encourages you to use the Wii Motion Plus peripheral to make the actual motion controls a lot more accurate. As well as that, there's also the HD remake by the films of Wii Sports Club on the Wii U, despite the fact that the online functionality is discontinued for Wii Sports Club now, and is especially noticeable concerning for the fact that we can no longer try to get the game digitally, as well as the forms of the actual time limit pass. Although thankfully though, the physical version is still a thing, but unfortunately though, it is ridiculously overpriced, especially concerning for the fact that no wonder why. The Wii U is incredibly flopped since by the end of 2017 or something like that, because that's why the Switch itself is doing really well. And speaking of which though, when it comes to Nintendo Switch itself, obviously that was about the fact that, Joel, what you just did earlier? Oh, sorry. I was getting able to try to hold down the B button, and then I accidentally let go for a bit because my feather decides able to actually go ahead and not hold it very well. So, oh well, because I'm pretty much used to flying, you know, with all its wings and everything. So, I was able to try to get used to with, like, motion controls for the Wii Remote, because I, pretty much used to with, like, using the controller with, 2 grips and stuff like that. I mean, truth be told though, it has been a very long while, or should I say a very long time actually, since we did manage to play this game after all. So, because we did originally not have it at first glance back during the Phones of in 2023, but then we figure out about the fact that, oh, what a nice little skill right there for you, Blaze. Well, yeah, that's how I roll when it comes to likely trying to get these split pins down. So, because, yeah, if you couldn't tell already, it's about the fact that if you do manage to able to try to accept the forms of that particular challenge where you have to knock down all these pins in split formation, then if you get a spare, then you obviously get even additional more points. So, however, if you missed one of them, though, well, it's hard for me to say, but either way. Oh, and also, from what I've heard anyway, is about the fact that when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie, in terms of the box office results, that I do think about the fact that it is now definitely possible for the fact that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 will make its way onto the top 10 highest grossing films of 2024 right now, especially concerning for the fact that so many people out there really want to see it all over again, just in case it'll get ourselves a bit of a massive boost when it comes to the forms of box office records just before we dive into the 4th film until roughly 2 years time now. So because of that though, yeah, good thing about the fact that we did somehow manage able to, you know, still support Sonic movies and all that stuff, because after all, it's doing remarkably well, and it's especially noticeable concerning for the fact that we've already, well, the actual movie franchise of Sonic the Hedgehog has already reached for about $1 billion when it comes to all 3 films combined, so pretty swell. So, anyway, and there's also another thing else I would like to point out as well, potentially speaking of, is about the fact that I don't suppose if you noticed, but basically though, is about the fact that we were originally though, decided able to actually go ahead and play yet another board game, which appears to be Scrabble, but we just couldn't get around to it though, especially concerning for the fact I just still really waiting for, you know, Nintendo Switch 2 to be arriving, and in addition to that though, there's nothing else we can really talk about. Well, apart from the fact that for one particular part you might able to expect it for this point, girls. Oh, what's that, Blaze? Basically though, recently though, Silver has recently finished up every single aspect in terms of his Let's Play of Sonic X Shadow Generation. So, yeah, at the very least, one of the first ever Let's Plays of 2025 has been completely done. Although, then again, I will be back for more of the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games at some point in next week, and so just in case, it'll be a perfect opportunity to able to actually finish up that game during at some point for the sake of the forms of before spring happens, like I stated earlier. So, anyway, so it's now my turn, so give me the Wii Remote, please, Jewel. Thank you. No problem, especially concerning for the fact he's always been a cool character when it comes to the Sonic franchise, which, truth be told though, about the fact that oh, lucky you, Blaze. You somehow now got double strikes. So, yeah, it is so easy to able to actually get strikes or spares in this game, unlike in, well, not only Wii Sports Resort, but as well as the forms of Wii Sports Club for the Wii U, and of course the most recent one at the time, which appears to be Nintendo Switch Sports, which does encourage you to able to utilize with the Joy-Cons to begin with. So, similar to the forms of how it does it on, well, the majority of the forms of other Switch games, like Super Mario Party and WarioWare Move It, because obviously though you can't play the game on Pro Controller or just handheld mode in general, just because, well, you get the idea what I was just expecting to mention about that. Although, we still haven't exactly got ourselves Nintendo Switch Sports to ourselves, well, that's mainly because, at the end of the day, it just feels like it's not really the same as the forms of the original charm of the forms of Wii Sports to me, but that's just me. Well, good thing for you, Jewel, that you somehow got yet another strike, despite the fact that it doesn't say double, or turkey, or fourth, as currently, Coco Bandicoot, that she's definitely in the lead right now. Although, truth be told though, Joy, is that it may look like me and Coco Bandicoot are pretty much neck to neck right now, especially I've got myself strike turkey. So, kudos to my bowling tactics, or just bowling skills in general, so, but I digress. So, and fundamentally speaking, I was about the fact that since that Sonic X Shadow Generations is now concluded for our Let's Play, we're not exactly sure of what's going to be up next. In terms of the forms of our Let's Plays department, well, we already know for the fact that Blaze will definitely going to be coming back onto that current game right now, or technically until next week either way. But aside from all that stuff though, we can't tell for sure what's the next Let's Play is going to be, but we'll stay tuned for that, probably at some point until tomorrow, so either way, just in case we don't want to mention any spoilers for the time being, so. And also, as far as I do recall correctly, that Pinkie Pie did somehow tell me about this, that back in 2014, that both Mickey Mouse and Pinkie Pie and Shy Guy, they somehow keep on mentioning about the forms of the actual specific news, all about Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS and for the Wii U as well. Like, that was back in around that time when the Direct actually happens, focuses on the forms of Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS and for the Wii U. Like, they do remember back then, they got incredibly hyped about the forms of some new content will be available from the get-go, to be more specifically on the 3DS version, like the introduction into Smash Run, if I can recall correctly. And in addition to that though, Joy, there is also Greninja and Charizard become playable characters in Journey forms of Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS and for the Wii U as well. And it wasn't until likely in 2 months later, well, I would say 2 months later I should say, about the fact that that was around that time since in April in 2014 as a matter of fact, that obviously though until 2 months later we'll hear more information about the forms of not only Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS, but alongside with the Wii U version as well, for its confirmation about the forms of some other modes, as well as the forms of the confirmed release dates for any other regions, and because obviously that was about the fact that similar to the forms of how it does it, where before Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, where they only released the 3DS version first and then the Wii U version afterwards. So yeah, it feels remarkably similar when it comes to those two games combined. So at least I thought so anyway. So alright, so it's my turn, and oh nice, I got myself my glorious strike. And of course, there are other methods you can able to actually get other strikes or anything by, specifically though, as far as what Blaze is going to be, trying to do something about this, is that she's obviously trying to zoom in for a moment, and she's trying to back up a little, and as a result, she probably throws it on that specific angle, even though sometimes it works, but other times though, we ended up, or she managed to end up with 8 pins, and, as far as the other two goes, well, she obviously got a spare, so. Now, of course, the controls are very simple. Like, basically, you have to use the directional pad for likely, if you press left and right, you can able to move your character movements from side to side. And then if you hold down the B button while at the same time trying to able to swing the Wii remote almost straight towards the TV, although it's important things to know, always make sure you have to use the wrist strap on, so just in case you don't want to accidentally broke the TV. Well, because usually that was back in the day, where if nobody else uses the wrist strap, this means about the fact that they'll cause potential damage, not only for the Wii remote, but alongside with the phones and the television as well, because my goodness, there are so many breakable TVs in the past, since in 2006, as soon as when the Nintendo Wii was first launched, during the phones in 2006, sometime in November, if I can recall correctly. So, either way, and so far I'm actually in the lead right now because I've got so many strikes. So, I mean, I would have liked able to try to go for the perfect run anyway, but regardless of anything else though, oh, nice! I got myself my 6-pack! Wowee, that was impressive. Very impressive for my, score points right there. Alright, on to you, Joel, because we ended up now in the 10th and the final frame, I just realized. Because, well, if you couldn't tell already, on the 10th and final frame, if you did manage to able to go for a spear, or a strike for that matter, like, for instance, I get the feeling, oh, wow, lucky you, Joel. Why, thank you. What were you about to be saying earlier? Oh yeah, about with this whole 10 frame thing. Basically what happens was though, if you didn't get any spares or strikes for that matter, well, for example, if you somehow got one pin knocked out, and yeah, right there, basically though, well, imagine this, right, on your first throw, if you somehow got 5, and then if you go into the second throw, if you get 4, basically though, it counts as, you know, you're somehow done. So, however though, if you get a spare, you get yourselves an extra throw. So, yeah, kudos about the fact that we can able to have extra amount of chances so that, well, you get the idea for that point. So, but unfortunately for me though, I ended up in 4th place because I don't think it's possible for me to catch up, because I get the feeling that you three did somehow manage able to conquer every single aspects in terms of the forms of the actual bowling match. So, alright, so it's now my final go, and just gonna make sure if I need to get my wrist strap ready, so just in case I need to get that glorious strike with this specific technique right there. And hoping for the best. Oh, so close! Oh well. There goes my performance, but at least I did pretty well. Alright, on to you, Coco Bandicoot, the final opponent in today's video. Oh yeah, let's see how I roll in terms of my... Look how much score I've got. And let's just hopefully I can able to get my yet another strike, which I certainly did. Wow. Gee. I don't know who's gonna win this for sure, but I would guarantee for the fact that it may look like Coco Bandicoot will definitely try to win that for sure, because generally speaking, I was about the fact that obviously she's really into video games these days, especially that she's obviously a technology bandicoot or anything else like that. Well, hard for me to say about this honestly, because it has been about quite a few months ago since we actually last mentioned about something Crash Bandicoot related. So, anyway. Oh, jeez, this is awfully close. And, can I get it? Ha-ha! I won! I won! I got myself my final strike to end things off. Wow, luckily for you, hey? And it's especially noticeable because you did somehow win and you beat me! Unbelievable! Well, almost a perfect run, but regardless of such though, we all ended up with a new record because obviously though we, you know, played this on our spare own time, but then we figured that it'll be a perfect opportunity to have some bit of fun, really. So, yeah, congratulations to you, Coco Bandicoot, for able to win the Wii Sports Bowling. So, I'm on 2nd place, and meanwhile for me, I'm ended up in 3rd place. And unfortunately for me, I'm ended up in 4th because I can never reach 200 or more. So, oh well, beggars can't be choosers, I guess, but it's a lot of fun regardless, so... Yeah, because back in 2014, that Mickey Mouse has lost by 2 pins all thanks to Pinkie Pie at the end of that particular sport itself. Yeah, I guess that's true. So thank you guys so much for watching our special occasion for the 14th anniversary of the TheMaxiToys YouTube channel, for experiencing Wii Sports bowling for the second time. So this is me, Joy here, and I'm Joel here, and I'm Blaze the Cat here, and I'm Coco Bandicoot, and we'll see you guys at some point soon. Later, fellas.